Welcome to The Explainer. Okay, let's dive into this. Today we're unpacking a scenario that is honestly most people's absolute worst nightmare. We are looking at the astonishing true story of Salvador Alvarenga, a man who found himself completely lost at sea. And look, this isn't some exaggerated Hollywood script. This is a meticulously documented, real-life account of human resilience just pushed to the absolute limit. We're going to walk through exactly how a totally routine day at work turned into this unimaginable fight for survival, and how he actually made it out alive. Because when you hear the sheer magnitude of what this guy went through, it literally forces you to rethink everything you know about human endurance.
I want you to put yourself in his shoes for just a second. Imagine waking up to a horizon with absolutely no land in sight. Nothing. Just water in every direction. You instinctively reach for your phone. Dead. Zero signal. Your stomach drops as it hits you that you have no food, no fresh water, no real shelter from the sun. And then, that crushing realization slowly sets in. No one is coming for you. Seriously, try to strip away all your modern comforts right now, and just sit with the sheer terror of that kind of isolation. You are entirely cut off from the rest of humanity, just floating on this tiny speck in the largest body of water on Earth. It is the ultimate test of sanity, and that terrifying, hopeless reality is exactly where our story really kicks off. But, before it became this epic fight for his life, it was just another day. Back in 2012, Salvador Alvarenga left the coast of Mexico on what was supposed to be a completely normal, totally routine fishing trip. He was a seasoned fisherman, just a regular guy heading out onto the water in his 25-foot fiberglass skiff, literally doing exactly what he'd done 100 times before. He knew these waters inside and out. The skies were clear, the ocean was calm. It was just supposed to be a quick, profitable day at sea. There was absolutely zero warning in the forecast, no ominous dark clouds hinting at the massive catastrophe brewing just offshore.
Let's move along and see how this builds, because nature violently altered his fate in just a matter of hours. So, hour one, business as usual. But shortly after, this massive, completely unpredicted storm just slams into his tiny vessel. The ocean, which remember had always been his livelihood, his sanctuary, suddenly turns into this deadly weapon. For days, he's out there fighting relentless winds and towering waves that are threatening to capsize his little skiff at any given second. The staggering force of this weather just completely overwhelms his defenses and pushes the boat totally off course. He was powerless against the current, just getting dragged deep into the vast, uncharted expanse of the Pacific Ocean, way outside of any normal shipping lanes or rescue perimeters.
Now, what's really interesting, well, terrifying actually, about this part of the story is that he didn't just get blown off course. He suffered a devastating 1-2 punch that really sealed his fate. First, his engine failed. Boom! That completely eliminates his mobility. He can't fight the currents, he can't steer towards safety. And then, as if that wasn't bad enough, his GPS completely dies, erasing his navigation. Without those two critical systems, a small boat on the ocean is essentially just a piece of driftwood. Think about how scary that is. Drifting without power, completely blind. He couldn't radio for help, couldn't signal passing ships, and couldn't even figure out which direction land was. He was left entirely at the mercy of the sea.
So days bleed into weeks, and the whole narrative shifts from trying to fix a broken boat to just testing the extreme limits of raw human endurance. Imagine the agonizing psychological toll here. You've got the blistering, relentless sun just beating down on you all day, scorching your skin, and then that's followed immediately by freezing, wet, biting cold all night. Your mind starts playing these awful tricks on you as time drags on without a single ship appearing on the horizon. The profound silence of the open ocean becomes deafening. At this point, his goal wasn't even rescue anymore. It was literally just to survive until tomorrow. Every single day was a brand new battle against starvation, dehydration, and honestly, the overwhelming urge to just give up.
And this brilliantly illustrates what happens when you have absolutely nothing left. Your primal drive just takes over. Consider what survival actually requires in an environment like this. Just to get basic calories, he had to learn to catch fish using nothing but his bare hands. He'd wait, completely motionless, for hours by the edge of the boat until a fish swam close enough to just snatch. For hydration, he meticulously funneled unpredictable rainwater into empty plastic bottles, hoarding every single precious drop. And when the fish weren't biting, he was forced to capture seabirds that mistakenly landed on his boat and, yeah, even eat raw turtles. It's just a visceral, incredible testament to what the human body will instinctively do to stay alive when pushed to the absolute brink.
So the crucial point to understand here is that while he was fighting this brutal daily battle, a quiet tragedy was unfolding back on land. The rest of the world had moved on. His family, his friends, the authorities, everyone naturally assumed the ocean had claimed him. I mean, search and rescue parties were officially called off. Just think about the sheer mental fortitude it takes to keep fighting for your life day after agonizing day when you know, deep down in your gut, that absolutely no one is looking for you anymore. There is no cavalry coming. He was effectively a ghost, a dead man drifting across the Pacific, kept alive solely by his own unyielding will to exist.
76 days. I just want that staggering number to sink in for a second. For over 2.5 months, he endured severe starvation, raw diets, crippling dehydration, and this profound, maddening isolation. He drifted thousands and thousands of miles across the open ocean, literally just a tiny speck in a massive void. But then, finally, after 76 agonizing days of fighting for every single breath, a tiny speck of green magically appeared on the horizon. Against all impossible odds, his battered little boat washed onto the sandy shores of a remote Pacific atoll. His endless nightmare was finally over. Imagine what it felt like stepping onto solid ground for the first time in what must have felt like a lifetime.
Against every physical and mathematical probability out there, he lived to tell the tale. His sheer willpower transformed what should have been a guaranteed tragedy into one of the greatest survival stories ever recorded in human history. And this story matters because it completely redefines our logic. It pushes the absolute boundaries of what we understand the human body and spirit can endure when backed into a corner with zero lifelines. It reminds us of the incredible, almost dormant strength that lies within the human survival instinct, proving that even in the face of absolute despair and total abandonment, the will to live can conquer the most impossible circumstances imaginable.
Which leaves us with this final, really provocative thought. Could you survive 76 days alone in the middle of the ocean? Knowing what he had to do, the raw diet, catching fish by hand, surviving the relentless sun, and enduring that total, hopeless isolation. What do you honestly think your limits are? I want you to head down to the comments right now and simply type yes or no. Let us know if you think you have what it takes to beat those kinds of odds. And hey, if you enjoyed this explanation and want to learn about more unbelievable true stories just like this one, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We'll see you in the next one.